Hey, what's going on? It's Kevin Kenny. We are live in New York City for the Build series, and we're about to be joined on stage by a guest today, who is in the midst of the Happiness Begins summer tour and is nice enough to take some time out of that trek to talk about the new single Met at a Party featuring Sarah Hyland. Please join me in welcoming Jordan McGraw. Thanks for stopping by, dude.
Up? Thanks for having me.
We talked about it a little bit in the back, and I just said at the top there, but you're in the middle of this massive tour, man.
Yeah.
So how many do you have? Is this like even a full day off, or are you just being nice enough to stop by and then go into a show tonight?
No, this is a full day off.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'll drive or probably fly to Mohegan Sun tomorrow.
Okay, cool. It's up in Connecticut, right?
Yeah.
All right, right on. You did Albany last night?
Yeah.
So how has it been? Because the whole thing kicked off in Miami. You got BB Rex on the deal. You got the Jonas Bros, of course, headlining. Yeah. What's been the vibe on tour so far?
It's the most fun tour I've been on ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. As cheesy as it is to say it's happiness all around, it really is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like their whole vibe, the Jonas Brothers' whole vibe, this whole comeback has just been fun, fun.
Exactly.
Not taking yourself too seriously.
Yeah.
You feel like translate that, like that's the vibe on
100%. Yeah. We have more fun backstage than we do on stage. And we have a lot of fun on stage. So, yeah, it says a lot.
That's so cool. Now, how far back do you go with like the Jonas Brothers? Because I see on social with Joe, and Joe's popped up in some videos we'll talk about.
Yeah.
But is that like a long-standing friendship? Is that just...
Yeah, I think I've been friends with him for a little over a year now.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's relatively new.
Yeah, it's new. Yeah,
like,
we don't go like way back.
Yeah. But where did you grow up? Because they're from Jersey. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Texas, in Dallas. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
And then you started making music at 15 years old,
Yeah,
I understand.
I did.
But you were probably a music fan far before that, right?
Yeah, my house was always full of music.
So what's like, give me some early memories, right? Like who are you hearing?
Oh,
you think
my rides to school were always Led Zeppelin. And then I had an obsession with the song Dead Man's Curve.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I would play that on loop, and then my parents would sneak in Led Zeppelin every once in a while.
Right. So that's
and then
probably
country as
the
well.
parental influence, right? Like
Yeah.
classic rock. Do you remember like the first artist or song, or maybe it was an album where like you kind of owned it yourself?
I stole my brother's Whoomp There It Is CD.
Okay.
So I don't know why I picked that song, but I can still do every lyric to the song. I won't, but but then I think Blink-182 was the first band that was like my band.
Right. Totally.
You know what I mean?
It's funny you talk about Whoomp There It Is, because to me that's just like such a classic, like just all out fun song.
Yeah.
And I think you can tie it like full circle to like with the kind of music you make, because it's really just like above all else, it's fun, right?
Yeah, that's the
made
goal.
to have a good time.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time in a lot of bands that just kind of slowly became unfun.
Yeah.
As things got more and more serious with the other people in the band, and when I went off to do my own thing, now I was just like, it's gonna be all fun, all unapologetically positive, and just I'm gonna enjoy it, and I do. I have a blast.
And what was that born out of? Was it the experiences with the previous bands, or was it like maybe things you saw around the world, or you just...
No, I think it was just I just like kept having these moments of being on stage, and other people would be stressing out and worried about things that didn't really matter, and you just kind of look out and you're like, whoa, all these people are here to have fun with us. Why is it so serious? You know? And then again, like Blink-182, I used to just obsess over them, and they're kind of the definition of that like fun band.
Totally.
Without a worry.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of the combination of those two things.
So what makes you pick up a guitar or maybe just start singing at 15 years old? Is there a moment that kind of like the final push in the back?
Yeah, I moved from Dallas to LA when I was 15.
Okay.
And I had no friends because I moved in the middle of...
tough age to move.
I moved in the middle of summer, so I couldn't go meet anybody.
Was that going into high school, or did you do like a year?
I was going into my sophomore year.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I went and bought the Tom DeLonge Blink-182 Strat, and I locked myself in my room, and I just terribly, terribly played the guitar for an entire summer.
But you know what's kind of awesome at Blink songs is they sound so good, but they're kind of simple in terms of chord progressions.
Yeah.
So you're just learning out. That's a great place to start.
Exactly, yeah, and he doesn't play them very well, so...
Well, it's funny, like you talk about like people kind of majoring in the micros, right? Yeah. Or majoring in the minors, right? Worrying about things that like the fans would never even think about.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Blink always did such a great job of, is like they may not have been the most talented musicians, but who the hell cares? Right?
Yeah, exactly. They put on the best show.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
That's all that matters.
So do you start making like Blink-182-esque music, like pop punk music at 15, or are you making like rock? What does that sound like?
My first band was basically a really bad version of Blink-182.
Yeah.
You know?
As most are, right?
Yeah, and then I had my heavy rock phase. which was interesting.
Yeah.
Mohawks and breaking guitars and stuff.
Yeah.
Which,
You got to let it out, dude.
yeah, it was fun, but it's just people would come onto the tour bus, and I would put like Ed Sheeran on, and they'd be like, "You listen to this?" I'm like, "Yeah, totally. Why?"
Yeah, why not?
Because you were just. I was like, "Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
cool. Maybe this is not quite me."
Yeah. Talk about the evolution of kind of finding yourself as an artist. And it's probably a journey that there's never an ending to.
Yeah.
But just kind of I think it's cool that you kind of worked through these different sounds, right? You worked through pop.
Yeah,
sounds,
totally.
like you worked through some heavier stuff.
I think it's important when you're figuring out what you want to sound like to basically try everything. Like I never rapped, but well, there might be a recording out there somewhere. But like, country, hard rock, pop rock, like cheesy ballads, all that stuff. You kind of pick the best little pieces out of everything as you figure out what you also don't want.
Yeah.
And then I think it kind of adds up at the end and you get something unique rather than just trying like pop punk.
Right. I think it's such a better approach to having a career in this business, because if you go like huge at the start, doing a sound that's not you or authentically
you're
you,
stuck.
then when you want to do you're like, no one's here for that.
Yeah, you like
fake
accidentally stumble into a hit song that you hate.
Oh my gosh, I feel so. We've had
it's still
bands.
a hit song.
Yeah, but seriously, I won't name names. We've had bands on Build that like have those massive
Yeah.
debut songs that and you almost feel bad for them, right? Because you're just like, oh my god, you just wrote a catchy song.
You're like chasing your tail at that point because it's not really you, and you just want to get it again, and you're.
Right. It's funny. A lot of them say that the song eventually doesn't even feel like theirs. Like you lose ownership over it because it becomes so massive. It almost sounds like a karaoke song or something.
Right.
But you recently, so you kind of went the solo route. When did you decide to do that? In like the past, would you say year?
Yeah, definitely the past year. I was in a band with a friend of mine. It was just two of us, which was kind of the same
toured with AJR,
idea.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to play music anymore, so I was like, well, I might as well use my name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right?
Which was actually terrifying because it's the first. I can't change my name.
Right.
So I'm kind of stuck with it.
It's funny because there's nothing to slip into. You know what I mean? There's no project.
It's also the best feeling, though.
Is it?
Yeah, because it's just I literally am just being myself.
Right.
Did
you have a conversation with yourself, or was it a conversation with other people of like, who is Jordan McGraw, right? Like, what is it? Because I want to get into Flexible in a second, but like that first solo debut effort, like that's no small task.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is I think the reason we all kind of looked at each other and stopped trying to think of a band name and just went with my name is I know who I am. I know what I want to do, what I want to sound like. I don't take myself too serious. So it was pretty like on brand.
Yeah.
As lame as that term is, but it was just kind of the obvious choice. And then once we started recording and doing all that, it was like, oh yeah, why did we ever even consider another band name?
Right. You've got talking about the process. You've got a great video online, I guess, on like your YouTube channel, where it's like songwriting in movies, and then songwriting in real life, and it's so great because it's so true, right? Where like you're just hanging out. It's
so
in the
not
movie.
glamorous.
No, it's not. It's hard work and it's frustrating work a lot of the time.
I have like a permanent dent in my head from banging my head against the wall. Yeah.
What does it like? Take us through it, if you could, though, in terms of like if you could start at a point A and take us to the finished product. What does it look like for you?
It's kind of different every time, but it usually starts. I have like a list of ideas in my notepad on my phone.
What are those ideas? Is it like a sentiment? Is that a lyric?
It'll be anything like anything from like something you say right now,
right?
That might be a title or a line or just a concept, and then that'll turn into something totally different once you're in the room with other people or once you actually dive into it. And then after that, it's usually kind of build the track up and then just start humming stuff until something's like, oh, yeah.
It's a little catchy.
I guess so.
We had Hoodie Allen on the show yesterday, and he was saying that he needs to spend like a month with a song, and if he still likes it after a month, that's like his personal thing.
Yeah.
He's like, this should wind up on the record. Do you have any sort of like time parameters in terms of like if you know a song's done or good?
Well, the best advice I got recently from an amazing songwriter, Ross Golan, is to just take your time. Because you start a song and you want to finish the song,
right?
But that's just there's no reason to rush because it's just going to sit there for a while anyway,
totally,
before you put it out the right way. So just take your time And I think a month is like, that's a good gauge.
Yeah, 30 days.
Hoodie
solid.
knows what he's doing.
Yeah. It's funny. Ross was on the show last week. It was last week, I think, right? He was talking about the Wrong Man. And really cool, and we got into songwriting. But something we talked about, and then you kind of bring it up there, is like, as exciting as the emotion is when you're like caught up in that that first day of writing the song, it's also important to like take yourself out of that emotion, because when I hear it on the radio, I'm not going to be in that emotion.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah. It's hard to be neutral though. They're like your kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Some of your kids are uglier than the others, but they're still your kids.
I asked Ross a funny question that I pointed at him, but I'll point it at you because you work with him. And in LA, there's it's like it's the songwriting capital of the world, maybe outside of Nashville, right? The pop songwriting capital of the world, I'd say. And you could work with so many different people at a certain level, and so many people specifically pursue Ross. And I asked him, why do you think that people pursue you? They could pursue other people. Why you? Why did you pursue Ross?
He's not just like accidentally talented. Like the dude has the science of a good song down. And I had one conversation with him and he just like totally blew my mind, like the approach to songwriting. And he does it in such a non-arrogant way that you can't help but want to get in a room with him and just like throw ideas around.
How important is that? I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
No, how important is that rapport and relatability when you're doing a writing session?
You can't write a song with somebody you don't like.
Right.
It won't work. Yeah, because you got to, let yourself go a little bit and throw out so many bad ideas before the right one sticks.
Totally.
But if you don't like somebody, you're just going to be glaring at them the whole time. Like, that sucks. That sucks too. Stop
Idiot.
it. Yeah.
Like your enemy at work.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
The workplace.
They get up to go get a drink, you trip them. You're like, how about that drop? Yeah.
Another thing Ross and I
That was a
talked
terrible
about-
music pun. Sorry.
I missed it. No, but another thing Ross and I talked about that I thought was pretty funny and interesting was I said, how many times does an artist bring him an idea or an experience they went through of like, my girl left me or, I'm overdue on rent, whatever the hell, right? I lost my job. And they think that the song should be about one component of that.
Yeah.
And it winds up being about something totally different.
Sure.
And he said, oh my God, all the time. Have you ever gone to a writing session like wanting to write about an experience and then you realize, oh, I should be writing about a totally different experience? Or
I think my favorite version of that is if you have an experience that's unique to you or an idea that you think is just amazing, and then the person in the room thought you meant something else, and that turns into that idea, and then they kind of, come together. That to me is like the coolest
that's magic.
feeling.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Like
a misunderstanding that happens to be a great song.
Right. No, and that probably speaks to the content speaks to a lot of different people, right? I want to talk Flexible, right? Because this is your first big debut single as a solo artist, you could say. And again, I said before, like, that's no small task. Like, there's a lot of thought that goes into like what the first step is going to be, right? Why was it Flexible?
First of all, I'm not flexible at all, which was ironic. I threw my back out like 2 weeks before the video, which was just like,
that's kind of an active
of course.
video. Yeah.
Yeah. Like that really shows how flexible I am. But no, I think we had recorded like 10 songs before that one, and we were going back and forth about which one was our favorite, and then Flexible came about, and it was like, oh, yeah, that's the one. So it was a pretty easy choice with that one. It's just fun.
And the video looked like an all-out party, man.
Oh, yeah.
How'd the video come about?
Joe Jonas directed it, actually.
He directed it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it's his first time directing a video at all. So
that's so cool.
Yeah.
Did you call him up, you ask him, or was that like, did you know that was an interest he had? And you're like,
yeah, totally. We just kind of sat and talked about it because I mean, he knows what he's doing, obviously.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I asked,
I
asked them for advice a lot on how to approach something, and it just kind of came about naturally, where it was the obvious choice for him to direct it, and he came up with the kind of idea around it and everything. So
yeah. No, it's a super fun video if you haven't seen it. Speaking of parties, you were at Joe's 30th.
Yeah.
What was the deal with that? That looked like a hell of a time.
Yeah, it was an awesome time. He knows how to throw a party.
Yeah, I was gonna say, right?
It was a lot of fun. It was James Bond themed, so
cool.
Everybody was in their suits.
Right on. Was that in LA?
No, it was here.
Oh, it was here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Right on.
Yeah.
Cool. So was that before tour or after tour?
During.
During tour, dude, you guys are busy, man. I can't keep up.
Yeah. We
all
bounce around.
Well, yeah, the single that's out right now, "Met at a Party." And by the way, I mistakenly called it the music video at the top. That was the Teen Choice Live performance. Super rad. And you were telling me like you didn't really rehearse a ton before that. I guess you're on tour, you don't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
Typically, like at a big award show like that, you do like maybe 1 or 2 days of rehearsals, like go over all the steps. But
Yeah, we had like one day where we did like blocking, so we like made a taped out version of the stage and kind of walked around it.
Yeah.
But no, when we got there was the first time we saw the beach ball and the dancers and all of that stuff.
And the first time you ever did you perform it live before then, or did you perform it with Sarah before then?
No, I had never done it with Sarah. I did it twice on tour.
Okay.
By myself.
A little warm up.
Yeah, but no, that was the first time with her, which
That's really fun.
yeah,
Man.
was awesome. She killed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you link up with her on this song?
She heard "Met at a Party" when it was just me on it, and I didn't know that she was such a good singer, and she said she wanted to be on it, so we booked a studio immediately before she could change her mind.
That's awesome. You like the collaborating? Because now you've done the solo stuff,
Yeah.
you've done the band stuff, you've done like kind of the features.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, anytime you get to hang out with good people, it's
Yeah.
it's a win.
It's a good time for
Yeah.
sure. What's like past the tour, right? The tour's gonna like spill over into fall, but what are you thinking about for you and solo stuff?
Dude, the tour is forever.
Yeah,
I don't know
really.
that
And they keep
get far
adding
ahead.
dates.
I know, right? You just, I love to tour. I love to play live shows. We got a lot of good music built up, so
That's awesome.
yeah.
That's really cool. What a great tour to kind of like cut your teeth as
Dude,
a
it's like
solo
the-
act on.
It's the best tour.
Yeah, it's the tour.
Yeah,
Really, this
and
year.
people show up so early. It's amazing.
Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah.
So cool. You like the challenge of just kind of earning over fans, winning over fans?
Being on stage is my absolute favorite thing.
Right.
Yeah, and these fans are like, they come so ready to have a good time. Like, there's one part in the show they all put up their cell phone lights, and it happens every night. But I literally every night I have to like not stop singing because I'm just like,
Yeah.
it's amazing. Yeah.
It's crazy. And
It's
are you
cool.
selling the country singer tourist? Because that's a hell of a
I'm not yet. I
should,
kept those. I kept those for me and the crew. But enough people want them. I think I'm gonna start selling them.
Yeah, throw those up. Let's get to some fan questions. First is going to come from Twitter.
Cool.
Comes from @jhayes88. For Jordan, I'm also a Led Zeppelin fan. Would you ever cover one of their songs on an album? Which ones would you cover? I also think it's Robert Plant's birthday today.
Is it?
I think so. I want to throw that out there. Maybe
Happy
yesterday,
birthday. Maybe.
Yeah.
I absolutely would never cover a Led Zeppelin song. That's like, that's just one of those ones you don't do.
It'd be great to just scare the shit out of like the Jonas Brothers fans. Open with like immigrant songs.
Right? Or the entire Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you, Albany.
Yeah. If I did, I think it would be immigrant song though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be cool.
It's
Maybe like
just-
put your little flavor on it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I don't know.
We'll see.
All right, let's get some fan questions here in studio. The first is going to come from behind me.
Hey, how's it going? So we have a question from our site buildseries.com.
Cool.
And they're wondering, so how does the energy differ from performing live when you're an opening act versus a featured band versus a featured solo artist? And does this change how you approach the performance?
Long question.
Yeah. That's a good question. Being an opener is tough because most of the people aren't there to see you. So whether they're welcoming or not is kind of up to you. So I mean it's a fun challenge, and if you have a good crowd, like the Jonas Brothers fans are literally, I'm not just saying this because I'm on the tour, they're the coolest fans in the world. But yeah, it can be tough. There's always somebody that doesn't like it. Yeah.
It's funny, as a performer, you don't think about like the 10,000 that dug it. You think about the one guy you saw on his cell phone the whole time.
I will
Like, what the hell
find
were
that
you
one
doing?
person every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, without fail.
Yeah, and I'll just stare. I used to spray him with a bottle of water, but that started not going over so well. Yeah. I think somebody that I did that to still trolls me on,
Yeah,
on the internet. Yeah.
We just got confirmation. It is Robert Plant's birthday. He's 71.
Boom.
Let's get to one final question here.
Hey.
If you can collaborate with any artist, living or dead, who would it be?
Ooh, living or dead. You're throwing in that as a twist.
Plant is alive, we've confirmed.
I think, I mean, because of the living or dead thing, I would say like Jimi Hendrix would be awesome. But living, I'll pick my top three. It would be Tina Turner, Daft Punk, and Stromae. Those would be my three.
It would be cool, dude. Everyone's doing like the Travis Barker on drums remix thing.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dude, yeah. Trust me.
Really
I would be
intense
I would be
party.
all about that. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, you are a busy man, as we've discussed already, so we're going to let you go, Jordan. But thank you so much again. You can check him out on social. Is it just at Jordan McGraw?
It is.
Right. Nice and simple.
Easy.
I feel like the days of the underscores are gone. Usually I had to like
Right?
plug the handle and explain
Yeah.
the handle, but everyone's
No.
we're on good
I
terms.
got it.
All right. Jordan McGraw, everybody.
Thank you.